What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're gonna learn how to drive a manual transmission car. Now I've already made the videos on the tutorials for the beginner. If you've never been in a manual transmission, take a look at the video linked down below. Today's video, I've had this request for many years. More advanced, you already know how to drive stick shift, but how do you drive it better? How do you shift quicker? How do you launch a manual transmission car? Are there tips and tricks you can use while driving a stick shift that make you a better driver, improve your fun factor, improve your abilities? Well, that's what today is gonna be. All right, first step, number one, you wanna be a pro driver, you gotta wear a helmet, safety first. Okay, you don't have to wear a helmet, obviously. If you're on the track, it might be a good idea. But no, we are gonna learn, maybe not necessarily pro level driving. Obviously, I'm not a race car driver or anything like that. However, with my experience of 15 years, I've had a manual pretty much ever since I had my learner's permit, quite honestly. We're gonna basically go over all the tips to just drive these a lot better. So getting up and going, you know the basics, you know how to drive the car, but how do you get to the next step to where you can learn more and play more with the car and use it in a little bit different way? So first order of business, we are gonna talk about shifting. When do you really need to shift and how do you shift a little bit quicker? So in the beginning, you might be looking at your tach a lot. 4,000 RPM, I'm gonna shift. 4,000, I'm gonna shift. You don't really need to look at your tachometer. Now I got an awesome AWE exhaust on this Type R, so it sounds really good. And that kind of is how you're gonna be learning to shift as you get more and more involved in a manual. You're gonna be using the feel of the engine, the sounds, basically your other senses other than staring down at your tach. You wanna keep your eyes ahead, keep your eyes on the road, keep aware of your surroundings. So you wanna listen and feel out the car. I know that was probably close to 4,000 to 5,000 RPM just because I've driven this car a lot. Now, when you're learning to drive stick shift, hopefully maybe you're gonna learn in the car that you're gonna be owning it for a long time, but the more you drive your car, the more you will feel the engine and just know. Now, when and why should you shift at certain RPMs? Normal driving, it just really depends on the power level your car offers. This car, normal driving, I can shift around 3,000 and get up to speed like a casual, typical driver would. However, if I am accelerating really quickly and I want to go faster in the car, obviously I'm gonna shift a little bit higher. So not to say I'm necessarily gonna redline it, but when you get towards redline, that's gonna be most likely your optimal power, and full throttle pedal to the floor is how you're gonna get the most speed out of your car. So it really just depends on how you're driving. You're driving conservative, you're driving fast, up to you. Short shifting, now that's a term people use when you're not going all the way to redline. This car redlines at 7,000 RPM. I can still have a lot of fun getting power out of it, playing with it, shifting around 5 to 6, which would be short shifting. I'm short of the redline by a couple thousand RPM. So casual shifting is gonna be maybe 3,000 to 4,000 RPM, short shifting, maybe 5 to 6, and then redlining is of course wherever your car's redline is. So that's basically how you shift when you shift. A lot of it is just gonna be feeling. Some cars, when you are racing, you might have shift lights or something like that in a performance setting to really help you know, shift at redline. Because if you exceed redline, your car will have a rev limiter and not let you keep driving. It'll basically cut the power a little bit and hinder your performance a little bit. So you have the whole rev range to play with, just depends if you're driving conservative, sporty, or racetrack. So next up, how do you shift faster? Quite honestly, you just shift faster. So when you're first learning to drive, of course, you give it some throttle, clutch in, shift, back on the gas a little bit, kind of that slow, methodical movement. Just work on doing that quicker and quicker. However, you can go too fast. Now, I was first learning to drive manual, of course, growing up watching Fast and Furious with 20-speed manual transmissions in the movies where they were shifting lightning quick. I was trying to shift so fast to where my shifting was awful because you can only go so fast just because you have to let the engine do its thing, the clutch do its thing. So really, as you start learning to drive more and more, you'll just learn to drive it faster. So a quick shift, give it some gas. So basically the quickest way to shift is as soon as you're ready, clutch in off the gas and shift at the exact same time. Clutch in as soon as you shift. Basically you're gonna do it simultaneously to where it's not clutch in, then shift. So as you start driving more and more, you'll kind of just learn to do things quicker, more in sync together, to where clutch shift is exactly the same time. Clutch shift, perfectly quick shift. That's about as fast as you're ever gonna go. You're never gonna beat on automatic and shifting, but that's basically how you do it. Rather than one at a time, just do it at the same time. So moving on now, launch control. Now there are quite a few manuals that will have a launch control in them. The Nissan Z was probably the most recent manual that I drove that had launch control. Basically how it works, you come to a standstill with your clutch all the way in and in first gear. The car will basically let you do a launch to where you can pedal to the floor, which maybe this car has it. Holds a rev limiter at 3,100. Well, it is a rainy day, so we're probably not gonna get a good launch, but this car may or may not have launch control, but whether or not your car does have that, the ideal way to do it, as we come back to a stop, basically all you're gonna do is hold the clutch in first gear, of course, you're never gonna launch from a different gear, and what you're gonna do is basically hold the revs a little bit higher, so maybe 2 to 3, and then slowly take your foot off the clutch, and right as you start moving, you're basically gonna do this movement of gas and off the clutch. So it's kind of a simultaneous release of the clutch while you push it into the throttle. You're not gonna just pedal to the floor instantly. You wanna have just a little bit of a movement. It's maybe hard to say that, but hold some revs up a little bit. Now again, it is way too wet to be doing a launch. Unfortunately, we have a rainy week, but kind of doing that in slower motion. You wanna hold some revs, take your foot off the clutch and just give it more and more gas as you do. Floor it up to speed, next gear. And again, we're gonna be shifting quickly, clutch and shift at the exact same time. And you're gonna do a pretty decent launch. It won't be consistent every single time, even with this traction circumstance today. Obviously, I'm not gonna be doing any amazing 0 to 60 times, but if you're looking to do drag racing or do some timed runs, that's kind of your best bet onto launching a manual. One thing you don't want to do is just dump the clutch, which you've probably heard of that term by now. Dumping the clutch, this will probably spin out like crazy, but dumping the clutch is literally holding the revs and really quickly just taking their foot off the clutch. You don't want to just dump it because you will be doing a burnout, which is useless for a timed run. Fun for fun time, of course, but you don't want to dump the clutch. You just want that. Hold the revs high, slowly take your foot off the clutch, and as it's biting, just continue that movement of throttle and off the clutch. So next up is rev matching. Now, a lot of cars are going to have an automatic rev match where you clutch in, it will automatically do it. You don't have to do anything. However, how do you rev match? I don't think I can turn it off in this car. A lot of cars you can. Basically, when you press your foot on the clutch, you just want to give it a little blip, basically 1,000 RPM or so. And as you give it that blip is when you're going to downshift and then take your foot off the clutch. The goal of that is now the revs are higher to where they're going to match the new engine speed that is needed to be in a lower gear. The lower the gear, the higher the revs are going to have to be to maintain your current speed. So I'm going at 45 miles an hour right now. Little blip, take my foot off the clutch, and that was nice and smooth. Little blip, perfectly smooth, maintaining 45. Little blip, and we've done it very nicely. Now with rev matching, there's a thing called heel toe. Now heel toe downshifting is something you do when you are going into a turn and you need to downshift while being on the brakes. Now in a manual, we have 3 pedals, you only have 2 feet, so it's kind of hard to work 3 pedals with 2 feet. So the heel toe method is basically your toe goes on the brake and your heel goes on the gas pedal. Quite honestly, since I have been driving for 16 years or so, I don't understand how people can twist their leg that much. I mean, here's my foot on the gas and the brake, pretty simple. I don't know how you would bend your foot that much. That seems incredibly awkward. However, what I've always kind of called it in my own words are just fat footing it. I know that sounds stupid, but basically put a little bit of your foot on the brake and the other part on the gas pedal, and you kind of wiggle your leg side to side. And that has been a way that I have found if I need to slow down, I'm able to slow down while blipping the throttle for a downshift. All right, so let's show that again. Foot on the brake. And that was 2 downshifts, kind of doing that fat foot method to where I need to be on the brake, as you can see with my toe, but also need to blip that throttle. Basically just like that. So that's kind of how I've done it. I don't really do it all too much, quite honestly. I generally will set up before a turn. So if I'm in 5th gear right now, slowing down for a turn and I need to downshift, I'm gonna clutch in, downshift, then do the brake and do my turn. So that's just kind of how I do it. So I'd say a good intermediate way to do it is set up before a turn. Super advanced would be the heel toe, which again, I just can't bend my leg, so I don't know how that really works. But a good intermediate way to slow down on the brakes and do a rev matching downshift yourself is just like that. Just kind of use the toe side, your big toe side of your foot on the brake, on the edge of it, and then your little toe side on that gas pedal and make that movement. So last on the list is skipping gears. Now, when you're first driving, you're kind of taught to upshift one at a time, 5th gear, 6th gear, go in order, you're slowing down, oh, let me go to 5th gear, 4th, 3rd, so on. Honestly, you don't need to do that. You can skip gears in a manual. It is perfectly fine. Some instances where I would do it, I mean, I like to get up to speed quickly. I'm already going 55. I'm just gonna go ahead right into 6, slowly take my foot off the clutch though. I'm already going the speed limit. There's no sense of going from 3rd to 4th to 5th to 6th when I've already hit the speed limit in 3rd gear. The biggest thing is don't just, from 3rd, let's say we're going 50, don't just put it in 6 and dump the clutch, because the RPM just went from 3,500 to 1,800 really quick. You don't want to do that. So just kind of a slow release of the clutch pedal when you do skip gears going up. That's a better way to go. Now downshifting, same thing. I'm going 40 in 6th gear at 1,000 RPM. You know, if I want to quickly accelerate, it is a waste of time. Now I can finally accelerate after driving 100 extra feet. I'm already into the turn. It's like, you know, you're wasting time doing that. So even just there, it went from 4th to 6th once again. But if I'm in 6th, I want to get some power. Right to 3rd gear, the car downshifted nicely, it rev matched, and we have optimal power now. So get in the habit of skipping gears if you want to. That's the beauty of a manual. I'm already up to my speed. I'm just gonna go right into 6, take my foot off the clutch slowly because we're already cruising. Although now, oh man, I want to get some power. 3rd gear, and we're right in the power band from 6th to 3rd. Now, some things you don't want to do is money shift. Now, money shift is basically as you're doing an acceleration, an aggressive one, let's say you're high in the RPM of 3rd gear and you accidentally go into 2nd, that's when you could blow your transmission, blow your engine, and have a bad day. So you don't want to do that. Always make sure when you are ripping it, getting up and going, you're going in the next consecutive gear. And with that said, when you are downshifting, skipping gears like you've seen, know your car enough to not go into the wrong gear. So we'll get up and go. We want to go in the right gear, but you know, we got some traffic. I'm already slowing down a little bit. Got that into 6th. Here's the thing, I would never at 44 miles an hour go into 1st. Most likely it's going to be hard to actually put the shifter in 1st, but that's a good way to destroy your car. Same with 2nd gear, that's probably pretty much redlining the car. When you are downshifting aggressively, having some fun in the mountains, if your downshift is going to put you at redline, that's not the right gear. You shouldn't be going to that gear. So if you're having a fun time, you know, going around some spirited turns, right now we're going 40 in 4th gear. 2nd gear is gonna be like redlining. There's no point to downshift to 2nd because you would then need to shift to 3rd. So I already know at this speed, 3rd gear is gonna be an optimal power band for me. So as you get to know your car more, you'll know your gears, you'll know what speeds each gear is optimal at. And as you downshift and when you do choose to skip gears, you will be picking the optimal gear for the situation. Now, other reasons why you would be skipping gears, we're in traffic right now, going 40. I'm gonna be making this turn right here. I'm slowing down already, still in 6th. I mean, we're at almost 1,000 RPM. I'm gonna go right to 3rd, now into 2nd. Again, there was no need to go to 5th and 4th because I knew I would end up being in 2nd gear. And then again, getting up and going. I'm at the top speed I'm gonna be at. I'm just gonna make a slow gear change to 6th and call it a day. And then let's say around this turn, once again, I wanna get some extra power. We're at 2,000 RPM in 6th gear. I know I can do 5th, I know I can do 4th, I know I can do 3rd. Second's probably again too low, so we're just gonna rev match to third. And that was a great downshift choice to get optimal power getting out of that turn. Those are tips that I've been using for a long time. It makes it fun. It makes it just a better driving experience. You become a little bit better. Your shifting will be a little smoother and quicker. And you're gonna be able to use the fun advantages that a manual transmission car has over the automatics. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and I'll see you all in the next video.